Okay, here I am again. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you would subscribe because that's just a good thing. Then you won't miss me ever, and it helps me on the YouTube. They like me better. If I get people subscribing and more views and all that, it's a good thing. I don't expect to ever make any money because I have to have 1,000 subscribers before I could get paid, and that's never going to happen. But that's okay. That's not why I'm doing this. So I'm just doing this to preserve my memories for my kids and whoever else wants them. Posterity. I don't have much of that, but anyway. So I will pick up now. I'm like in my senior year. Okay. So my dad retired when he was I don't know how old. He was 40 years in the military. Anyway, he was a lot 25 years older than my mom. He was in his 60s. He retired and I was 16. And I guess, I feel so sorry about my dad and my relationship with him because there wasn't any, you know, and maybe that's why I've had these problems with men all my life because I never had a good relationship with my dad or any, kind of father figure except my father in heaven. And maybe that's why I'm so close to him. Um anyway, my dad, he was an alcoholic. He got a couple part-time jobs when he retired. They didn't last long. He wrecked my mother's car. He was drunk. I mean, he was really, really bad drunk. I mean, it was disgusting. He was not violent, but he was disgusting. And he in the afternoon one day he took my mom's car and drove around the block and hit a neighbor's car, a parked car, and then he got his license revoked, of course. And it was really bad. I mean, really ugly, really bad. He slept in a little room off of the living room. That was we called it our den. The den, it was like the office, but we just put a little cot in there for him so he wouldn't have to go upstairs. And him and my mom weren't having relations because he had prostate problem. And anyway, he was very embarrassing to me, very embarrassing. And it was sad. I guess he tried to do a couple things for me that the way he thought, but he didn't know me at all. Like, he bought me this subscription to a makeup club that they would send me new makeup every month when I wasn't wearing any makeup, and he sent me another subscription to recipes that I would get recipes every month. And I was not into cooking. I mean, those were nice gifts, but he didn't know me at all. And it was very strange. Now, I was a hippie and I was protesting the Vietnam War. Uh, I was very vocal about it, and there was songs, that were playing on my underground radio FM that I was listening to and all, and I would sing them around the house and all. So my dad knew. One time I even went to protest. I cut school one day, but it was like almost it was so much advertised. It was like, if you're not in school today, everybody's going to know why and it's going to be okay. Anyway, me and a couple girlfriends, we went to Monmouth Mall. Monmouth Mall was not a mall. It was Monmouth Shopping Center, and because there was no malls yet, Monmouth Shopping Center, we had Bamberger's instead of Macy's, and it was all outdoors. It was not connected indoor mall. But we went there to protest the war one day. We wore black armbands with peace signs and did that one day. Anyway, I was really against the war just because people, so many were dying. It was so sad. Oh my goodness. Every night on the news since for years now. By the time I'm a senior, this has been going on for a long time. And I almost want to cry when I think about it. But every night, the evening news would come on. After the evening news, they would just roll the names of all the young men that died every day. They would roll the names on the screen. And that just tore me up every night. And so I was vocally very much against the Vietnam War. These were, I was almost coming of age. If I was a boy, that I would be going there. Anyway, my dad, he didn't seem to mind. He never, ever, ever said a word to me about, how I felt about that. So I kind of think he was with me on that. And so it was the days of protests, happening all over the country. Kent State happened when people were murdered for protesting, and all these protests going on all over the place. The Chicago 7, all that happened. If you haven't seen that movie, I think it's a Hulu movie, Chicago 7. Gotta see it. It was really, really good movie about that trial. So all this stuff is going on, and I'm into it. Protests, right? Sit-ins, love-ins, and all that stuff. Love-ins were just when everybody would sit in and just, peace, love, flower power, all that. But in our high school, we boycotted the cafeteria, which I didn't even eat lunch, but I was with it, Everybody brought lunch one day instead of buying from the cafeteria because they were protesting some of the food, and the trays were always like dripping, soaking wet. And so they protested, and nobody bought lunch for 2 days, and things got better after that. So those things happened. So then in my senior year, I was going to show you a picture. Darn. I forgot. Okay, I gotta run and get that picture of me when I was in high school. Okay, I guess I'll show you that next time. Anyway, so my senior year, first day of school, I remember going to English class, and there was this tall, thin black guy standing at the door of English class. He had on a gold suit. He looked so sharp. And like the Temptations were really big back then. And, it just kind of reminded me of the Temptations anyway. So he was standing at the door of English class. I never saw him, never noticed him before. And he was greeting everybody as they came in the room. And it was like the lightning bolt. When I saw him, he just blew my mind. It was like, oh my God, this is like the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then he was also in my study hall that senior year. So in study hall, we were able to sit wherever we wanted, and he sat by me. And, we got friendly, we were flirting, and next thing, we're seeing each other. I thought he was the hottest thing I ever saw. He was so awesome. Anyway, he had a car. He would come pick me up at my house, and he didn't come in. He would come by, and I would run out, and we would go right around. We would hang out in West End. We would party, with the West End people and stuff. And we did that my whole senior year. I was in love with him. I was really in love with this guy. I mean, I think that was more than I was in love with anybody else. And so we used to just, he would take us around, but he said that his family was very prejudiced and he couldn't be seen with me. So when we were riding around in the daytime, so every once in a while it's like, oh, there's my uncle, and I would have to duck down so nobody could see us together. So the prejudice was on both sides. in that way. Anyway, I was in love with this guy, and then when it came time for prom, he told me he was going to go to prom with some black girl from another school that his family wanted him to be with, you know. So I didn't go to the prom. He went with another girl. But on graduation night, we were together, and you know, there was several parties. I think we went to a couple in West End, wherever, and then went with him to the Block Stop, which was the on the Black Block in town, right? They had this place in this one building for teenagers and stuff to hang out. And I was the only white person, if you want to call me white, you know. I said that before. Anyway, I don't know. I'm half white, half Japanese. You know, nowadays Japanese is considered Pacific Islander on all the forms that I fill out. So I don't know what I am, you know, because I mean, being here in Florida, I have the best tan of most people, but now it's winter time, so it's all faded. So anyway, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be white or Pacific Islander anymore, whatever I am. But back then I considered myself white. I was the only white person there. The only one that wasn't definitely black. And, you know, I had no problem with that at all. I mean, I knew everybody, it was all cool. And after we partied a little while at the Block Stop, we took a walk down to the beach, which was just 2 blocks away. And he broke up with me. He said, you know, he was going to college. He had a job waiting for him at a really, really, really good company already. He had a job waiting for him. He was going to college. He said, it's never going to work between us. We can't be together because of our colors. Our parents will never accept it. So he said goodbye to me. Broke my heart. I was in love, and it broke my heart. So I guess that's the end of my senior year. I was trying to rack my brain for any other memories that I could have of senior year, but that was it, because I was mostly with that guy. Nope. Oh my goodness, now I remember. Yeah, this happened. This started the year before senior year that I started seeing this other guy. And I must have been seeing both of them during that time. The other guy was a white guy. And he was a former football player. He graduated before me. He was gorgeous, and I was in love with him. And I'm still saying this now, because I really think I was in love with him. But, so I was seeing him a little bit here and there, because the thing that I had, and I'm going to call that black guy Tim, because he's a big part of my story. I'm going to call him Tim. The other one, I'm going to call him Charlie, the white guy that I was also in love with in my senior year, right? And I was seeing both of them. Now it's all coming back. I don't know who I liked better at that time. I don't know. Life is so strange. But I think time's way up. Oh, it's only 14 minutes. Okay, I could talk more. Okay, well, the other guy, I'm going to call him Charlie. And I'm not sure. I mean, he was another one that hung out in West End. And there was the Rumpus Room in West End. That's where I met him. The Rumpus Room, you know, was like an arcade. It was just one big room. And, you know, they had pinball machines and different things. And he used to play a lot of foosball. And I used to just watch him. He was so gorgeous. And so we started seeing each other also. So I'm not sure how it overlapped, or if it did overlap or what. You know, the time is a little different, but both of those guys, I was madly in love with both of them. But the one I'm going to call Charlie, the white guy, okay? He was really doing a lot of drugs. And when I would see him, he was doing what we called downers back then. And that had to be after high school, because I don't think I did that. That was after high school. I started seeing him in high school, or just maybe started getting attracted to him at that time. Maybe like I was with him a couple times. I don't know, but I think that got more after I broke up with Tim. After high school was over, I started seeing him more. Charlie. Anyway, he was doing downers, and he got me doing them. Those are barbiturates, sleeping pills. There was Tuminol, Succinol, Nebutol, Yellow Jackets, Reds. Anyway, we were doing them. He was doing a whole lot of them. I mean, he would do like a handful at it. And at first I only did one, and you just get so relaxed and, just totally wasted. We were so young and healthy and energetic that we didn't fall asleep, but we would get very high, and they did build up a tolerance, and I got to where I was actually doing, like, I could do 2, maybe 3 or 4 even. And he was doing, like I said, he would even do like handfuls. He was really addicted. This guy was gorgeous, and he was so sweet. And I mean, and we would, he had a GTO. He was an only child. And anyway, his parents bought him a GTO. And we would go out and get high and make love and talk. He talked to me more than any other guy ever talked to me, just talked about everything he was thinking and feeling, his deepest thoughts, and we would just lay there and talk to each other. And, I thought that was the best relationship I ever had. Maybe it was. I don't know, but I was so in love with him. And am I going to get into this now? Wow, it's 17 minutes. I don't know if I should get into all that yet. I can't. Not right now. Okay. Oh, that'll be the next episode. Okay. Thank you for watching. Like me. Subscribe. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I did. I just went to the clubhouse over here and had my turkey dinner for $5. It was very nice. Sat with my girlfriend and met a couple new residents here. Today I went in the pool and did my water aerobics, but I was the only one. Nobody else in the group showed up because the weather hasn't been that great. But today was good, and I had a good time with that. And I might be starting to recover from this latest flare of the Epstein-Barr exhaustion that I have to deal with. Maybe I'm starting to feel a little better. Okay. See you next time. Coming soon.